Testing. 1, 2, 3. Audio, please. Do we have audio? Hello? Okay, okay. Okay, so it looks like we have audio. Should be good. Transmitting. We're here. We're live on the EngineeringRobo channel. Hello. Welcome, one and all. We're here. We're live again. We just finished the live on TikTok. Going live on YouTube now. To do it all over again, we're going to look at some cryptos, update the regulars, and see what's really going on here. It would appear. One moment as we figure this out. Okay. Watch as I transition to the chart. Okay. Hopefully everything should be clear, should be transmitting still. We should have audio, we should have video. Everything should be good. Might be easier if that off the screen. Let's take out this moving average. We got these robos, okay. Alrighty, so Bitcoin interacting with our support level here, daily candles opening and closing above key level 19,350. A key level as support for Bitcoin with daily candles opening and closing with wicks and bodies above it, confirming it as support. You can invest that 20% support-based investment ratio along this level as we interact with it. Hopefully, we can continue to hold along it, though as soon as resistance is confirmed, be prepared to reduce your Bitcoin investments accordingly. So that's why we only invest 20% at our support levels. They, can or sometimes do not hold. But we go with the flows of that confirmation no matter the situation here. Hopefully we can hold along it, though we do have bearish robos in play ever since September here, to be the middle of September rather, or more toward the end of it, I guess. Kind of the middle, I don't know. September, we have the sell 4 and HE double hockey sticks. 2 of our chosen 3 robos in a bearish state, suggesting that we are not eager to be jumping in to Bitcoin for sort of like day trade, swing trades type perspectives. Any short-term upside that we do experience may be very short-lived here, as we are in a downtrend overall, suggested by other factors in play, downtrend lines and lower highs. We're coming from some very bullish all-time highs. A correction is still occurring. The bottom is still to be solidified. We got to go with the flow of our tactical strategy during this extreme volatility. So with bearish robos in mind here, we can hope for continued interaction along our support level, but we cannot become more comfortably bullish into Bitcoin in the immediate short term until bullish robos return. Then we can anticipate potentially moves back up to that mid 20K range, maybe up to 30K there waiting for us. $34,600 overhead is the most significant level of resistance if we do continue ourselves upward here. Considering this local downtrend line here, this dotted downtrend line here is where you can use at your own discretion for that 30% downtrend line based investment ratio, though I prefer to use the solid overhead downtrend lines there for more comfortable and confident confirmation. 20% at support, 30% based on downtrend lines, and 50% when 2 of our chosen 3 robos enter a bullish state. So far, EngineeringRobo bearish at the moment here. Bearish robos at the end of consolidation have seen 58% corrections. Bearish confirmations throughout the end of 2021 there from that all-time high saw a 44% correction. Bullish robos experienced 42 and 56% moves to the upside throughout 2021 there. Though at the moment here we are experiencing continued moves downward, looking for the bottom of this correction coming from some very euphoric all-time highs, returning to 2017 all-time highs visualized by these horizontal segmented levels here. These are not support or resistance per se. Psychological levels to consider: 2017 all-time high 19,800, technically overhead. That is the all-time high we set back in 2017 that we plowed well through, got to 69, nice, and then now we're returning to it. down below a swing high that was created back in 2017 as well, 17,176. Levels to consider as we look for continued interaction with our more significant levels. Like I said, 19,350, though down below the strongest level to watch out for, 13,500. Not an impossible price to present itself, though we got to go with the flows of the confirmations before jumping in and out of these situations. Extreme volatility, sideways and or downside, to be anticipated here until we can solidify the bottom and make our way upward. There is still a very bullish sort of like lifetime, longer, more dramatic uptrend in mind. You want to be accumulating here during times of extreme fear, during these lows. Once we reveal the fear and FOMO zones, you can see that we should be accumulating Bitcoin pretty much under like 40K. This is a very bullish buying opportunity, though day traders and or swing traders perhaps may need to be more patient, may suffer through this short-term volatility. Scalpers can capitalize on any price action. Investors should be accumulating during these lows. We go with the flows, watching out for Robos. Let's go to the fear and FOMO zone here, it would appear, may as well. Swapping over to the BLX chart, a more significant Bitcoin chart that has more data, more price action to consider. The fear and FOMO zones was created for Bitcoin, and as that is where you can get more accurate results from it. Coming from the TikTok stream, it is far more easier to like see all the chart, all the price action. Before it was like segmented into the like crazy vertical sections. That's ridiculous. We'll upload it on the channel after this, but we're pretty much going over the same things. But anyway, here would appear the fear and FOMO zones still. Here in the fear zone, anywhere between 40K and however low we go is a bullish price to be buying Bitcoin with a longer term uptrend in mind. The third time seeing the fear zone, the first time being in 2018, we printed a 45% correction relative to entering this range, 170 plus days of sideways, only to exit out of it, trade sideways, return back to it briefly here throughout 2020, another 45% correction, but only a month and a half of sideways within this fear zone here, it would appear. We then traded upward to and through previous 2017 all-time highs, which we'll go over in a moment. Got very close to the FOMO zone, not touching it physically, got close to it technically, not interacting with it, printing two very bullish all-time highs in the $60,000 ranges here, only to be breaking downward from this range of sideways back into the fear zone for the third time, allowing for yet another bullish buy opportunity to get into Bitcoin if you are waiting to. A 45% correction has occurred relative to entering the fear zone back in May of this year when it was around 37K. 45% correction has come to fruition, and we are still waiting for the final few weeks of the 170 days of potential sideways that occurred at the first fear zone interaction we had. Now, watching out for the FOMO zone here. When we look back here on 2017, we can see price action entering the FOMO zone throughout November of 2017, around $8,500 per Bitcoin, experiencing over 130% in gains, roughly peaking out near 20K almost. And then that 17,000 something swing high presented itself in the FOMO zone there that we had visualized on the other chart. Many traders getting out at these levels, investors taking profits, long-term holders of Bitcoin, capitalizing on gains at these price levels. So a very significant correction occurred following this particular all-time high being created. An 84% move to the downside here from roughly 20K, brought it all the way down to like $3,100 per Bitcoin into that first fear zone interaction. The 45% correction was between November of 2018 into May of 2019, between $5,800 all the way down to $3,100 per Bitcoin, and 170 plus days of sideways. Then we saw that second 45% correction before breaking previous all-time highs, getting very close to the FOMO zone during our most recent all-time highs, only to return physically to the fear zone here. It would appear, technically correlating with a whole bunch of other factors, suggesting that this may very well be the bottom for Bitcoin, though we can keep in the back of our mind, have capital on the side, be prepared for the 84% correction, which in my opinion is less likely because we have not seen that FOMO zone. An 84% move to the downside here from our most recent all-time high would bring it into that $10,000 Bitcoin type range, a very, very bullish buying opportunity for us in the longer term. But right now here, if the fear zone were to come to fruition for the third time, at the moment, this may be the bottom for Bitcoin. So always be accumulating during these lows. Picking up some heavily discounted digital assets here during times of extreme fear, but go oh no when Robo says there's FOMO. Not up until roughly $200,000 per Bitcoin is where many traders will be ready to buy Bitcoin. There'll be plenty of buyers there because someone has to buy the top, but investors, longer term holders, will be taking profits at that level, capitalizing on their longer term Bitcoin holdings. But this has been Bitcoin, its fear and its FOMO zones here. It would appear in the TikTok stream, we did Cardano, Ethereum, XRP, XLM, did S&P 500, gold, DXY, did a whole bunch of things here. Let's do the main ones that the channel is familiar with. Let's do XRP and XLM, perhaps. We're going to change up the Robo advisors in play here. We're going to remove the fear and FOMO zones as it was created for Bitcoin. That is where you can get the most success from it. And so for this analysis, we're going to have on the chart this combination of Robo advisors here. It would appear two of our chosen three. If you hopefully you've been following the YouTube channel, EngineeringRobo YouTube channel, you've seen the XRP short that we've uploaded most recently. It visualizes our updated XRP chart. I can't remember if this was done on stream. I know we redid another chart on stream at one point previously, but this is the new and improved XRP chart here that we are going forward with. That we were going with moving forward. So we've adjusted some levels. You've already been able to invest based on how the previous chart looked like pretty much up until like a week ago when we changed it. If you've been following the channel for the last few months, because we've been updating XRP all along the way here ever since last year. We've been updating the channel for over a year now, so you've been able to use the previous chart as it was visualized. Moving forward, though, this is how we are going to be using it. So technically, you've already invested your EngineeringRobo based investment ratio back in the beginning of September here when two of our chosen three Robos entered a bullish state, and you've already experienced 48% in gains on it in the recent price action here, and you're still sitting on about 41% in upside, awaiting the return of bearish Robos before fully reducing your positions and investments here. Always be sure to capitalize on gains. Be sure to take profits if you have them. You can never go broke taking profits. And always be sure to capitalize on short-term upside, especially during a bear market, bear trend, Bitcoin in a correction. Make sure you capitalize on gains if you experience them, as who knows how long they will last. Technically, we're in a bear market, as I mentioned. XRP, though, fundamentally could have tons of things going for it in terms of its settlement of its cases and whatnot, all that jazz. Fundamentally could definitely see price action back above $1 if some significant news and events were to be occurring, though technically here at the moment some significant resistance levels to consider. Overhead 63 cents waiting for us in any sort of continued upside price action. We still need daily candles opening and closing with wicks and bodies above 51 cents, newly visualized level here to consider. At the moment, technically resistance until daily candles can open and close with wicks and bodies above it. Then you can consider support potentially present for that 20% support-based investment ratio. 30% waiting for that downtrend line confirmation. You could have used it locally here with our dashed downtrend line level at your own discretion. And support on our newly visualized chart wasn't ever since back in June of this year here. We did have a level on our previous XRP chart near 30 cents, which you were suggested to invest your 20% support-based investment ratio on July, when we returned to 30 cents after bouncing from it, because we had 25 cents visualized down below previously, like way down there. 25 and 30 has now become 29 cents. Overhead here, 38 cents to consider if we do continue downward and fall below 51. We got to go with the flow of robos and the confirmations before we jump in and out of this situation. So you're already invested. If you're following the channel for the past previous months here, you've already been fully invested. Essentially, your support-based investment ratio and your EngineeringRobo ratios. If you've been following the channel here, if you've chose to, you have your 30% down trend line based investment ratio already invested. Right now, we're just going with the flow of these continued moves to the upside here, capitalizing on gains as we see them, watching out for resistance along the way, looking out for shorting opportunities once we do finally experience a top here and exhaust and return downward. What goes up must come down. All price action has an up and down sort of give and take to it. Still to be considered, the more broad downtrend in play here suggested by overhead downtrend lines, bearish robos to watch out for if we do consider significant resistance overhead and we start to experience some sell pressure. 58, 46, and 42% corrections that EngineeringRobo has seen over the last sort of year and a bit here. 115, 249% in gains from bullish confirmations. And then, as we've just mentioned, about 50% in upside recently, or roughly 42 or something like that. Well, hold on a moment. So far, bullish robos have seen as much as 48% in gains. Still waiting for bearish robos before we can fully reduce our positions, but like I said, capitalize on gains if you have them. What about XLM? Let's swap out our robos. Sorry, my phone just went off there. You got pranked. Unless you didn't even hear it, then I got pranked, and nobody knows what I'm talking about. XLM, I do believe this is the combination of robos that I used, and so you may notice here visualized in the TikTok stream that we just did, we have this box here. This is the resistance that we've been interacting with. We've been noting on previous YouTube streams the rejections coming from this range, but we've just visualized it here, finally figured out where it was. We just visualized it on the TikTok stream just before this one. We need price action to get above pretty much 13 cents and then return to it to solidify support present at current price levels. Right now, we are in a bit of resistance, so watch out for an interaction downward here toward finally confirmed support level waiting for us, 11 cents. Daily candles on the 8th of October here have finally solidified support there for us, so watch out for an interaction with it. We do see rejections off of this range previously, so that is to be considered. Bullish robos in mind, though, so you do have your EngineeringRobo based investment ratio. You've been heavily considering investing it all throughout this sort of pullback here when I was suggesting resistance overhead and further support confirmations needed, and the corrections after bullish robos here. You were able to jump in at these lower levels. If you were following the channel, be sure to like and subscribe to not miss an update. But here we are back above original EngineeringRobo confirmation price levels. So you're running out of the bullish opportunity to jump in based on that confirmation if you have yet to. Like I said, resistance. We also have that overhead downtrend line for that 30% downtrend line based investment ratio. 17 cents waiting for us overhead as resistance to give us a hard time. Bullish confirmations have seen 60, 22, 14% moves to the upside here. Bearish robos have seen 50, 49, and 54% corrections during this sort of downward price action. But this is XLM. You can see it in a bit of a low here, bouncing off of visualized support box that we came from there near 10 cents, though 11 cents is the technical level to consider. A few more confirmations need to be met before we can begin really jumping into XLM. Excuse me. Throat is failing. Okay. Let's see here. What's really going on? This has been Bitcoin, the fear and FOMO zones. We've done XLM, XRP. We could do Cardano, potentially. We did that on the TikTok stream as well. We're going to swap over to this combination of Robo advisors, the Buy 4 Golden Cross and Super Robos in play. Bearish Robos to consider. Technically confirmed ever since August of this year here. Now even more bearish parameters met throughout September. Technically not ideal for Cardano. Fundamentally, we don't know what's going on with it at the moment, though technically, as I mentioned, slightly less than ideal. We're looking for continued support found off of 40 to 41 cents there. Is where we can hope to see support, though 34 cents is going to be the more significant level to consider. 46 cents overhead waiting to give us a hard time as resistance at the moment, and we said bearish Robos to consider, so slightly not ideal for Cardano here. We need to get back above 46 cents at least, and bullish Robos need to return. We have that solid downtrend line overhead waiting to give us a hard time as well if we do make our way back upward to it. Bearish Robos here saving us from 67, 28, and 45% corrections. Bullish Robos experiencing 150% moves to the upside back in 2021, where we saw $3 there briefly. Since $3, we've traded downward. So we got to go with the flow of crypto and watching out for the Robos. But I do believe we are going to wrap up the EngineeringRobo YouTube stream here, it would appear. We're going to be back at it before you know it to do it all over again. We're going to upload the TikTok stream on YouTube here. Check us out on TikTok, TikTok.com/EngineeringRobo. To see kind of how we go about that. Similar streams to this one in a slightly different format because it's like vertical, but you get the gist. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the stream. Thank you so much for stopping by. We hope to see you in the next one. We hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video if you liked the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new to not miss an update. We're going to be coming at you here before you know it to do this all over again. Thank you so much for hearing my analysis. Try EngineeringRobo for free with the links in the description. And we hope to see you in the next one. Toodle and loot.